What is a totally wrong thing that has become so widespread it's not considered wrong anymore?
Putting your children's lives, including their faces and real names and evidence of their schools, lifestyles, friends, and common play locations, on the internet. You're right, that's wrong, but I think it's just old people not realizing how dangerous it is. Not just them, if you would look what they are all doing on Snapchat, which always tracks you so your friends know where you are. And if I would be really serious about privacy, I wouldn't even write and post this comment. Rather using slide off of a Google Pixel with Graphene OS and routing everything through Tor browser. Child beauty pageants. Why do people care so much about how attractive a 10-year-old looks? That's super creepy in my books.
Being proud of and bragging about a lack of sleep as if it's some sort of virtue.
Well, I'm not sure if it's actually wrong, but needing a few years of experience for an entry-level job just sounds pretty wrong to me.
Women's clothing not having pockets. I'm a guy and I use my pockets all the time. I would die without them.
Politicians openly lying with no consequence. It infuriates me. How do we not hold people in elected office to a higher standard? It wouldn't be a violation of the First Amendment to say your job requires you to not lie or mislead the people whose welfare is now essentially in your hands or face legal consequences. Same with Fox News. I don't understand how any media that creates the appearance of being any kind of news or information isn't regulated to prevent outright manipulation and deception. I mean, the word organic is more heavily regulated than the word news in this country, and the latter being a free-for-all arguably does so much more damage. Politicians being allowed to vote on impeachment for crimes in which they themselves were complicit. Tying your health insurance to your work, USA. If you become too sick to work, example, terminal cancer, you lose your job and your health care coverage. Dental not being included in health care. How is the health of your mouth and teeth separate from the health of the rest of your body and necessitate totally different, and pricey, insurance? Harvesting as much data as possible. You have to go to some extreme lengths to prevent your personal information being sent to random strangers you have never met. For anyone with the aptitude, Pi-hole. You essentially set up a tiny PC and route all internet requests through it, then give it a block list. Nothing connected to your network can complete requests to domains on the block list. Phone, PC, smart TV, a washer, fridge, etc., nothing. I honestly can't remember the last time I saw an ad, and it can block anything trying to phone home in the background as well.
Bought a Samsung TV and setting it up required making a Samsung account. They know, by the time you unbox it and place it, that you have really no recourse but to relent and provide your account info.
I'd respect a company if their terms and conditions were, in 18 points font, by clicking I agree, you are agreeing to not sue this company for any reason, ever. Also, just so you know, we will collect your data and sell it to third parties. Fast news instead of accurate news. And the fact news has evolved to just another form of reality entertainment. Taking pictures of strangers who aren't doing anything wrong or untoward just to post up on social media with some snark or judgment. In middle school I was very overweight. My body is very weirdly built and I carry fat around my lower back and I have a small butt, I'm a guy mind you, and so I had trouble pulling my pants up all the way. So one time I sat down at the cafeteria with my friends and this prick behind me takes a picture of my bottom hair and shows the whole table, who proceeds to laugh and point at me. I can still feel the embarrassment to this day. Edit, I never understood why people edit their comments to say thanks, I thought it seemed kind of pretentious, but now I see why. It's great to relate, but I'm sorry to anyone who experienced bullying. Thank you all so much for your great stories and kind words.
Perfect attendance being celebrated for kids. When my kid is sick, he stays home. He's healthy too. I can't imagine having a kid with a disorder that makes them prone to being sick more often and then not getting some shitty little award for not being in school every day. Kids get sick. It's not wise to send them to school anyway so they can spread their germs. Single-use plastic. It is the stupidest thing humans can do. You need spaghetti, so you buy them wrapped in plastic? A material that, if not burned, will disintegrate into ever smaller particles that will creep their way back into the bodies of all living things on Earth. Is that really worth it for a little bit of convenience? How Western nations ship their garbage to small Southeast Asian islands and call it recycling.
Sugar being added to almost everything that's edible.
Social media addiction.
I can quit anytime I want. Closes Reddit, stares blankly at home screen before mindlessly opening Reddit again.
A job making you seasonal/part-time, but works you at least 40 hours every week, never giving you full-time wage or insurance. Bosses threatening your job or hours if you call in sick or use vacation time at inconvenient times.
Agree. Going to work sick was also one of the accepted wrong things. Hope mindset change now. I had a job 5 years ago where the boss was in a hole. We were on a deadline on a project, but I was so sick I was hacking up stuff and generally gross. He told me to come in anyway, and when I got there, he gave me cold medicine, like I didn't have medicine at home. Obviously, I wasn't very productive, and everyone had to stay away from me. It was ridiculous. Talking on speakerphone while in a public place. Seriously, F you. Your boss expecting that they can contact you at any hour. I had a pretty good boss who rarely contacted me outside of work hours unless it was important. I work 12 to 8 p.m. and stay up late. At 1 a.m., I get a phone call. Hey, everything okay? I'm really sorry to call. I stayed late to organize the storage closet. And I just locked myself out. I figured you'd be the only person with keys that might be awake. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'm clocking you in for an hour for this. Yep. Your manager is awesome. And fair play you for helping out.
Hit the subscribe button. And comment your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.